Welcome to The Read Along,
a mini book club for your ears.
I'm your host, Scott.
I'm your other host, Anita.
And join us on a journey through a good book,
one chapter at a time.
Do you like talking about movies? Do you like talking about mediocre movies? Do you like talking about how you could have fixed mediocre movies? Well, I certainly do, and you can listen to me, Scott C. Bourgeois, along with my co-hosts Greg Beaver and Liam Creswick, as we give our notes, and I have some notes. You can follow it now on your podcatcher of choice, or support it by visiting patreon.com/IHaveSomeNotes. It's been a busy weekend.
It was a Halloweeny. It was a busy...
Yes, I thought there was more to that.
No, it was a busy Halloween.
Yeah, we had 2 effective days of Halloween between actual Halloween and then the day after where we had a little Halloween party because Halloween fell on a Friday.
I had 3 days of Halloween.
That's true because you had a little work Halloween party on Thursday.
Yeah, we did work Halloween and then real Halloween and then Halloween party.
Then we did an early Remembrance Day event on Sunday and then also
a birthday
event. And then today we did a whole bunch of adulting. And on top of that all, there was daylight savings time.
Yes.
So time means nothing anymore. And we've just been busy nonstop. And we're both very tired.
Time hasn't had any meaning since 2020. We all know this.
That's fair. But yeah, we're both a little exhausted. And not only did we do a bunch of adulting today, we also did a bunch of running around. So the normal time when we would have recorded was also busy.
Yes.
So now we've pushed it all the way to the end of our regular recording day, and we're both like just done.
But talking about a book is a nice way to wind down, I think.
Indeed. And despite the busyness of the weekend, we did manage to, as always, fit in a chapter because, I mean, that's kind of why we only do a chapter a week, because it's easy to read a chapter of a book.
Yeah, it's kind of our shtick.
Yeah, reading a whole book in a month, that's a lot for a lot of people.
Yeah.
It's a lot to devote that time. But one chapter a week, super easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why we do it.
That's exactly why we do it.
We're here for you.
So let's begin with a brief recap of our previous chapter, Chapter 8, in which Gav fails to call off the Garlic Festival.
Yeah.
The town is simply too far along, and he feels bad that he has to call it off. And then the mayor just totally brightsides everything and is like, no, it's fine. We've got foreign adventurers coming. We've got people who are big fans of evil wizards. This will all work out. And he's like, cool. And then he goes back to his study to try to get his thoughts together. And Zarkanar calls and is like, oh, by the way, I'm the one who totally stole your memories. That demon was working for me. I've got them right here. They're delicious. If you'd like them back, you're going to play ball. And Gav is like, well, I'm doomed. And that leads us into Chapter 9 of Dreadful by Caitlin Rozakis.
Sorry. Well, I'm doomed. You're very funny.
So Gav and Eliasha are practicing in the kennel coop.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's
a backyard shed for all I know.
It's this outbuilding in the kind of courtyard of the keep.
Yeah.
Which has falconry stuff. So he's like, it could be a muse, but also has dog stuff. So maybe it was hounds. And he can't decide if maybe one previous dark wizard was using it for dogs to release hounds, maybe.
Maybe.
And another one was maybe using it for falconry because falcons are cool and really imposing. Or maybe it was Zax's situation and it was dog falcons.
Could be. For all we know, it was weird, mythical creatures.
Chimeras. Yeah.
Could be.
Yeah. Who knows? Doesn't matter. They're not there now. And it's a secluded place to hurl around fireballs.
Which is what we are doing.
Yeah. Gav wishes that they could leave the castle grounds, but legitimately has exhausted everything he can think of to try to take this magical collar off of Eliasha, short of beheading her.
Yeah.
Practically.
Yeah. And he was the one who's like, no, we are hurting you. We need to stop doing this. And she's like, get this thing off of me.
Yeah. And she is showing a little bit of promise. She's successfully hurling around fireballs at this point and kind of is at the point where she's like, look, I have a question for you. why are you teaching me offensive magic? Like, okay, cool, teaching me magic, but why specifically magic I could use to kill you? And Gav's reply is like, look, you proved on day 2 that you could probably kill me if you really put your mind to it. So it just doesn't matter in that case. And frankly, when the going gets tough, when everything hits the fan, and we're reaching that point very quickly.
Oh, we all know it's going to happen.
You being able to hurl a little fireball might be the exact chaos we need that will allow us to save our necks. And she's like, I guess.
I know. He's really framing it as a form of self-preservation.
Yeah.
And he's extending it to the two of them. And honestly, he's extending it to everybody.
Yeah.
Right? Like all of his staff. He genuinely cares about his goblins. Something that I don't think Gavrax did in the slightest.
No.
What I liked about this conversation is that Gav is willing to go just a little bit deeper.
Yeah, he doesn't give himself enough credit. Throughout this chapter, throughout the last couple chapters, he's really down on himself.
Yeah.
And is like, I'm just a coward. Like, I'm just trying to cover my own butt. And he's not taking into account that he's actually stuck his neck out. That he has, in fact...
He's taken some big chances.
Taken a big swing on equipping the princess with an opportunity to save herself. That he expended his only known healing item to save a young goblin valet.
Yeah.
Like, he's done some legit...
good
selfless stuff that doesn't necessarily immediately benefit him. And he's so focused on the fact that he's deep down knowing that he was a bad guy that he just can't get over that fact.
Yeah.
And he even says it here to Eliasha. Like, I kind of wish that I was the kind of guy who you might have
liked
if we'd met under better circumstances. And to her credit, she doesn't just like sneer and laugh at that.
No.
She is taking into account his desire to be better.
Yeah.
And that does mean something.
I agree. It's... How do I word this properly?
This is going to come up later in the chapter, too.
So it's going to come up over and over again in the whole book, I'm sure.
Well, it already has. But yeah, it definitely comes back later in the chapter. So we'll come back to it.
Yeah. I think it speaks well of Gav's character arc as opposed to the whole Gavrax juxtaposition. Mm-hmm. That he is genuinely willing to open up that little bit more to Eliasha, even though it clearly like terrifies him.
Yeah.
Right? So this is where Anita's going to get into a lot of armchair psychology. I really should have been a behavioral psychologist in like an alternate version of me because I find this stuff absolutely fascinating about the knee-jerk inherent reactions he gets. Like the emotions he feels without understanding why or where they come from. And it's something that obviously Gavrax was not capable or willing to deal with, but Gav has to.
Yeah.
Right? I find the whole concept fascinating.
Well, and Gav's also able to take a step back from his knee-jerk reactions and calm himself down or decide actively to not follow his impulse.
Yeah, because there's something there that's like, no.
In this chapter, we find out Gavrax immolated a woman who said no to his marriage proposal.
Yeah.
And Gav is horrified and is like, well, I don't think I would do that.
Well, no, Gav wouldn't.
No.
Right? Same thing with, incinerating all of the goblins who displease him.
Yeah.
Gav wouldn't. Whereas Gavrax did not care.
Well, the magic training has ceased for the day, and from the sounds of it, we've skipped ahead a little bit in time, and the meeting with the Dark Wizards is, tomorrow. People are going to start rolling in. So this might be all the time they have left, and he's just like, I hope it was enough. And he wanders into town to go and, I guess, in his own sort of way, officially open the Garlic Festival.
Sort of. I read this bit as... escaping Eliasha for a little bit because he was having feels and he didn't know what to do with it or how to feel.
It's a little bit of that, but it also feels like this was kind of agreed upon ahead of time in that he was going to go and make an appearance to kind of attract attention, but also because he doesn't want the Dark Wizards when they show up to think that he approves of what's going on. So he wants a little plausible deniability. So he goes and kind of sniffs around and sneers at their efforts and is like, well, carry on then if you must. And it has some very terrible garlicked honey by accident.
I can only imagine that it actually smells really good to walk through that town square. Because he's talking about, garlic breads and garlic cheeses and, everything is garlic-based. But cooked garlic smells really good, right?
Yeah.
Like a garlic bread with like a garlic honey. Like if it was done well, that would actually be really delicious.
Yeah, after he tries the garlicked honey, he's like, I kind of wish I had something to wash it down with, but Lord knows what they've put in the drinks.
Right? Garlic everything.
Yeah. He notes that a couple of the outlying houses that were previously abandoned seem to have been turned into like makeshift inns or taverns. He also hears tell that some of the local adventurers who've been honing in on his territory have been looking for local taverns, because of course they have been.
Of course they have.
And he bumps into a little kid who's a big Gavrax fanboy.
Wow, this was a thing that happened.
Yeah, and it's just like, I love your work. I'm a huge fan, and like anything I can do to be like you, I want. And Gav is like, you don't want to be.
Please don't want
like
to be like me.
no.
Gavrax was awful. Don't be like that.
He gets kind of pushed into a corner to give the kid some advice, and finally just like leans in close and is like, it's the garlic.
It's the garlic. Why do you think I told them to make so much of it?
Yeah.
Why do you think we pushed garlic?
Yeah, it's because garlic is actually a source of great power. And the kid's just like, whoa, and just immediately bounds off to go and buy garlic and garlic accessories.
Runs off in his like Gavrax cosplay.
Yeah. And Gav is like, well, at the very least, I've helped sell some garlic. So good work, me.
Now watch, garlic will actually turn out to be magical in a way he didn't expect or something.
I mean, possibly, because he makes his way back to the castle kind of morose. He's had a really bad time.
Yeah, poor guy's having a rough day.
Yeah, he can't get answers about what kind of heroes might be coming from the townsfolk because they've only got rumors, and Lord Chicken Pants upstairs is not being super helpful because it turns out he's actually really dumb. And like, it's not that he doesn't want to help Gavrax out here. It's just he legitimately doesn't have any answers.
Also, he genuinely doesn't want to help. He's got that like hero bravado mentality.
But also, he's actually chicken-brained. He doesn't have answers to give.
It's true.
So Gav makes his way to the garden, and you say garlic might have magical powers. It's possible, because he looks around the garden and he's like, I know what all these plants are, but I have no reason why I specifically chose them all to be.
Yeah, like, these ones are all poisonous. Those ones are, like, standard herbs, I assume, for cooking.
Hopefully Orla knows the difference between them.
This one is, like, a flesh-eating plant. This one needs some blood.
Oh, it might be something that comes into play later. He was also granted some flowers by the locals.
Oh, yeah.
Because he had asked them to pick him some flowers so that he'd have fuel for his fireballs, because they are a material component.
Yes.
Yes.
Magic.
And he might need to throw some when all of the evil wizards and all of the heroes descend on the castle in the next few days. Going to be a fun time. And here, feeling particularly low about himself, he runs into Orla. And Orla's just like, is everything okay? And he's like, no. She's like, do you want to talk about it? And he's like, she's the help. And Gavrax would be like, no, get out of my sight.
Actually, I believe he starts with, I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
And then Orla's like, okay. And then, like, 2 beats later, he's like, I was wrong. I do want to talk about it. And so Orla's kind of stuck there.
Yeah, she's not going to go. And then he kind of cuts to the ethos here, which is, can my desire to be good now outweigh all of the terrible things that I've done in the past? Does it even matter?
Yeah.
Like, am I just damned?
Yeah, poor guy's just having an existential crisis out in his garden.
And Orla kind of cuts through that and is just like, who are you trying to impress?
Yeah, he's like, it doesn't matter. And she goes, doesn't matter to who?
Yeah. Like, the only person who needs to feel good about your decision to be good at the end of the day is you, is what she's saying. She doesn't
She's
say
not nearly as eloquent as you.
She's definitely not. But she's like, look, I'm a goblin. We're level 1 hero fodder. She practically spells that out.
Yeah, in not so nerdy words, but yeah.
Yeah, like, it doesn't matter where we live. Some little hero at level 1 is going to show up and kill a bunch of us to gain experience points. And it's not because we've done anything. It's because we're goblins.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we live here because it's slightly better than living in a swamp and still getting killed by heroes.
Well, and she says in her special goblin-y Orla way, being a goblin sucks.
Yeah.
But I also don't not want to be a goblin.
Yeah, and further to that, she's also like, it doesn't make me evil. It doesn't mean I want to be evil. Just because everybody who's good, quote unquote, thinks I'm evil. Who cares what they think? I'm me. And so, yeah, in a roundabout way, she's like, you don't have to choose to be good to impress someone. You just choose to be good because you want to be good.
Surprisingly insightful.
Very wise.
Very wise, this Orla.
Yeah.
I knew I liked her.
Gav isn't quite picking up what she's laying down here.
It needs to sink in,
And I think it's because it hasn't sunk in.
Yeah, I think because Gav is in such a unique position, he's going to need a lot of processing time.
And unfortunately, he doesn't really have that
And he doesn't
time.
have any because our chapter is now over and, things have to carry on.
Well, not just that. Like, tomorrow, Zaxis and Volevna and Zarkanar are all rolling into town.
Well, yeah, exactly.
And Artharno's band of mystical heroes could come kicking down the door at any moment. So he does not have time.
Mm-hmm. Well, and even today, he doesn't have any more time in the garden even.
Yeah.
Right? Because Throck comes to the door and he's like, your guests are here.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's where our chapter ends with, like, okay, on to the next thing.
Yeah, on to the next problem. No time to process this. We did skip over one little thing, which we should circle back to. On his way back to the castle, he runs into Sirocco.
Oh, right.
And Sirocco is just like, oh, do I have to dress as the garlic? and Gav kind of dismissingly is just like, well, unless you can think of something else you can do. And Sirocco's like, well, I am a trained bard and singer.
He's like, I can sing.
I could go and sing. And Gav is legitimately shook. He's just like, you can, what now?
In the cinema of my mind, his eyes just got really big. Like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Like just that confused, like, snap of the head, you know?
A very big, like, well, you never ask about me moment. Where Gav is like, you've never told me this. And Sirocco's like, yeah, I was kicked out of the Bardic College because they thought I had poisoned someone. And Gav is like, you might have actually poisoned someone, but still.
Right? If he did actually poison someone, I'd have been like, of course he did.
Yeah, but Sirocco's like, no, it's cool. I could sing. I can play music. I play the lute very well. I can play some other instruments, okay?
Yeah, but I'm best at the lute.
And Gav's like, well, then, damn, go sing. We'll have Throck dress up in the garlic costume. And Sirocco's legit kind of pleased, just like, okay, I get to go sing now.
There was this beautiful little spark in here. I'm like, oh, is he going to turn him around? Is he going to make his slimy assistant a good guy?
Here's the thing. My secret hope through this novel so far has been that Gav's decision to start being good starts to rub off on other people around him. Not just the goblins, not just Eliasha, and maybe Lord Fancy Pants. Not even Sirocco, who I was also hoping that he brings Sirocco around. I legit am secretly hoping that Zaxis and Volevna get caught up in this.
Oh, that would be amazing.
And that he turns the other two dark wizards against Zarkanar.
That would be awesome.
Like, it might not be. I'm okay if it's not. But my low-key hope is that Volevna and Zaxis are not so far gone that Gav's decision to be a good guy now is enough to make them be like, yeah, okay, Zarkanar's a jerk. What? We're on board with this.
I mean, if it happens, I will be on board because that sounds great.
Yeah.
I love it.
Indeed. But we'll have to wait and see. Perhaps we'll find out as his guests begin to arrive in Chapter 10, which you're going to want to read up on in time for next week. In the meantime, of course, as always, you can give us a little rating and review on your podcatcher of choice.
Yes, please. We love reviews. We love ratings.
Yeah, we also like to touch base with you via social media.
Oh, 100%. Pick your favorite. We are on Facebook, Instagram, Goodreads, and Blue Sky. Not in that order. We are at The Read Along on most of them.
Yeah, you can also send us an email.
Oh, yes, please. You can reach us at thereadalong@gmail.com.
And with that said, as always, we love you very much, and we'll see you next time.
This was like therapy with Orla.
Thank you for joining us on The Read Along with your hosts, Anita and Scott Bourgeois. All Read Along music is by Kevin MacLeod at Incompetech.com. Cover art is by Aaron Beaver. Be sure to join us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at The Read Along, and check out our group on Goodreads.com.